Hello and welcome to the LifeClub Rewards program. My name is Nuz and I'll be taking you through the different steps in the program. One thing to bear in mind is that LifeClub overlays your POS system and is compatible with any programs such as LOTS, MinFOS, Fred, etc. That means that anything done through LifeClub also needs to be actioned through the POS. For example, if you redeem rewards off a card, it will also need to be taken off through the total sale in the POS. I'll elaborate more on this later. The two blue screens that you see here will appear at all times, and if they're not showing, press Ctrl Alt or Backspace. You can drag the blue boxes around to your preferred location. Make sure to read the dot points as they give you a good guide on what your next step is. Number 1. Scan member card. This is what you'll be seeing when you scan a member card. If the card does not scan, select Manual and enter the customer's card number. If the customer forgot to bring his or her card, you can search for them as follows. Search, and I enter my details here, and I press on Search, and it gives me all the customer names starting with Nuz. If you know the customer you're looking for, you can just use that particular customer's card by clicking on Use, and it populates the details here. If the customer brings in an old LifeClub card and they want it to be swapped, this is how you swap the card. Either scan the customer's card or search. Let's refer to these as different customers. And then suppose I want to swap this particular card, so I just click on Swap and I scan a new card. And the new card is updated with the balance on the previous card. If the customer is not a LifeClub member yet and wants to join, select New. You'll then be prompted to enter the card number and other details for the customer. Alternatively, you can do the following. You can scan the new card, then it will prompt you to enter the customer's card details. One thing you can do is let the customer fill in the enrollment form and you can cancel and enroll later. So what it does is it allows you to process the transaction under this particular card, but it also lets you enter the details later. It prints out this receipt with the card number, so you can staple this to the application form and then you can enter the details later on in the day. If the customer is not at all interested in being a LifeClub member, press Cancel. The first step is to type in your cashier or your clerk number, and obviously your POS system may look different to mine, and then you can begin the transaction. It is important to select your name correctly since that will then help with tracking enrollments and other loyalty metrics by staff member. For a new enrollment, pick up a new card and scan. A prompt will then appear asking you to fill in the customer details. All mandatory fields must be entered to proceed with the transaction, or you can press Enroll Later if the store is too busy. If Enroll Later is selected, the customer needs to fill out the paper enrollment form for staff to update at a later time. It will also print out a receipt like the one shown here, telling you the card number assigned to the customer. You can staple the receipt to the enrollment form to then enter the details in the system later. Please note that when entering customer details that either the address or email address is mandatory. Customers are often hesitant to share details such as birthdays, but this information is then used for promotions such as birthday vouchers, so it's really important that you enter these details. Encourage your customers to provide as many details as possible. For transferring customers from the old program to the new LifeClub program, after you have entered your cashier or clerk number, either click Manual or Search. Your old customer database has been loaded, and you can search for the customer using their first and last name. When you find your customer, click Swap, and that refers to a new or replacement card being issued. After selecting Swap, this screen will pop up, and you can now scan a new card which will allocate to this customer. All existing dollars and details will be automatically transferred. You can then continue with the transaction as normal. You can scan the product or card in any order. For example, if you scan the product and then the card, and the customer then decides to purchase another item, you can scan this straight away. This is not affected by an order. As long as the customer's details are displayed here, this purchase will register on their transaction history once you process the sale. Once you have finalized the transaction, this is a copy of the receipt to be given to the customer. Note that their updated balance and transaction is visible at the bottom. If the customer is offered a reward, it will also be printed here, so keep an eye out. When processing a transaction, be sure to scan the products in rather than manually entering. It's key to use the scanner to ensure that the product data is gathered accurately. Only if the customer has provided enough details will they be able to redeem. Click Redeem and the gray pop-up box will appear. This will tell you how many dollars are on the card and available to be redeemed. The customer can redeem all or part of this. Simply type in the amount they wish to redeem. Please note that customers cannot redeem on prescription items. So for this transaction, I can only enter a maximum of $9.60 to be redeemed. Once you enter the value, the screen will automatically go back to the transaction, and the yellow highlight shows what you have redeemed off the card. Please also note that customers cannot earn and redeem in the same transaction. Once you have redeemed the dollars off the customer's card, you will now need to take the dollar amount off the total purchase value. It's recommended that you create one of your tender buttons as a LifeClub rewards option you can select to take the money off the final total. You may need to get a loyalty tender type set by your POS provider. This redemption slip will print from your printer to be kept in your till for end-of-day processes. The slip shows the amount that has been redeemed by the customer. You can still process a transaction manually if the customer doesn't have their card available. Simply press the search button to look up a customer. Once you find your customer, press Use, and they will be entered into the transaction. Sometimes customers may end up with more than one card. The system will let you know which is active to ensure you select the right one. If for some reason the scanner is not picking up the barcode, the customer's card number is written on the back under the barcode for you to process manually. When a card is scanned and the message shown appears, this means the customer is trying to use a closed card. On most occasions, they will already have another active card, so simply search and swap them onto a new card, or if needed, create a brand new enrollment. Customer details can be updated in store at any time. Simply follow the steps below. Once you have scanned the card or searched for the customer, simply click on the plus sign located here. Click on Update Details to change information regarding your customer. Once you have updated the necessary fields, press Update. If a customer has misplaced their card, you can replace it in store and all their details on reward dollars will automatically transfer over to the new card. Simply press Search, find the customer, and then press Swap. It will prompt you to scan a brand new card, which is now allocated to the customer. Continue processing the transaction as normal. The customer comes in who has received a mailer, email, or voucher. Find them in the system by scanning their card. Once scanned, you will see the +1 or +2 vouchers available on the small blue box on the screen. Click on the plus sign and then Vouchers. Another box will prompt showing the offer available. Select Use if the customer wishes to redeem. Note that you will have to press the cross button to close the screen and continue with the transaction. Voucher will be highlighted yellow in the small blue box, confirming the offer has been redeemed off the card. If the reward is, say, a double points voucher, this only needs to be taken off the card. Once you have completed the above, it will process automatically and can be viewed on the bottom of the customer's receipt. If the reward is, for example, receive $5 off your next transaction, you will need to redeem the offer off the card as well as off the total transaction value on the till. As shown in this example, I have taken the reward dollars off the card and I've also taken off the till using the loyalty tender. LifeClub stores are able to manually add reward dollars onto the customer's loyalty card. Note that you need to type in the reward dollar value, not the transaction value. Simply scan the card and then click on the plus sign to open the menu screen. Click Manual Rewards from the menu. The box shown will appear, letting you know the customer details, current balance, and what tier level they are on. Simply type in the reward dollar amount you would like to add or remove. Once you have selected Add or Remove, the blue nag will appear with the customer's balance updated. This receipt will also print confirming the reward dollars that were added or removed. Another added benefit of the new LifeClub program is the customer online portal My Journal. This allows customers to access their details, rewards, and history online at any time. When customers enroll in store and provide an email address, an activation email is sent to the customer with instructions on how to set up their My Journal account. At the bottom of every receipt, there is a prompt reminding customers that they can go to www.lifeclub.com.au at any time to review their account and update their details. This is a great way to get customers to interact and engage with the loyalty program. LifeClub has developed an easy-to-access interactive web portal for stores to view their own customer and loyalty data called My Merchant. By going to www.lifeclub.com.au/store, you'll be able to start viewing your database. My Merchant allows you to review current promotions, manage your customers by updating their details, entering their enrollment forms, replacing existing customers, as well as reviewing customers' transaction history and seeing rewards. For instance, if I type in the card number, it allows me to look at the customer and view the customer's last transactions, as well as adjust reward dollars or process manual transactions for the customer. So I can simply add or remove reward dollars from the customer's account through this portal. You could also use this portal to order consumables as well as download training materials and also read through the common FAQs. If you are unaware of your login details, please contact LifeClub on 02-9248-2600. Net Promoter Score, or NPS, is a metric used to measure customer loyalty. It tracks how customers represent a company to their friends and families using one simple question: how likely are you to recommend pharmacy name to a friend? How it works is that the LifeClub customer makes a transaction in-store. If they provide an email address, they're sent an NPS survey email the morning after their transaction. Once they complete the NPS survey, the NPS store and customer data is now available for you to see through My Merchant. Do note that customers will only receive one survey per month, capped at 6 per year. To view your NPS score, select the NPS tab. Select either graph or data here to see the NPS score or customer feedback. The chart here shows the percentage of detractors, passives, or promoters. If you select data here, you will then be able to view the customer feedback. This is the customer's LifeClub card number, and the customer comments are displayed here. The NPS score is displayed out of 10 for NPS, service, product, and wait time. You will then have the option to review the customer's comment, and if the customer has provided a phone number, you'll have the option to call the customer. Once the customer is called, you can note down your comments in this section and also put a tick mark here to indicate that the customer has been called.